so to get started today, you're gonna need 2 mixing bowls, just like we've been using. I'm gonna start with my mixing bowl first, that I can use my hand mixer in, or my whisk. And I'm gonna start with a cup of sugar. Before I start, I wanna go ahead and preheat my oven to 350. All right, that way my oven's getting hot. All right, so we're gonna put our sugar, which is 1 cup. All right, and then we need 1 stick of butter.
Excuse me?
Yes.
What kind of sugar? Brown sugar or
White.
sugar?
White. So you're putting 1 cup of white sugar and 1 stick of butter. All right, then I'm gonna use my whisk or my beater, and I'm gonna put my butter and sugar in together. I'm gonna beat it together. Make sure that your sugar and butter are getting all mixed together, off the sides and on the bottom. Once you've got those beat together, you need to get 2 eggs. I'm gonna add the eggs 1 at a time. I'll add an egg, then I'll mix it, and then I'll add the other egg and I'll mix again. So add the first egg, and then mix it. Okay, now I'll add the second egg. And I'll mix it. Before I do, I'm gonna wash my hands because I've just been dealing with raw eggs. So I'm gonna wash my hands, put a little sanitizer on them. All right. So we're gonna beat that egg in. All right, so right now you have the sugar, the eggs, and the butter in. Now we're gonna add our vanilla, the vanilla extract, the one that looks like this. We're gonna add 2 teaspoons. This is the small spoon, and you're gonna add 2 of them. 2 of the small spoons. 1, 2. All right, I'm gonna beat that all in. right, now I'm gonna put my bowl with my mixture. I'm gonna put it aside for a minute, and then I'm gonna get out my other mixing bowl, because we're gonna do our dry ingredients now. So once you've got it all mixed, go ahead and get out your second bowl. All right, in that bowl, we are gonna do 1.5 cups of flour. So here's the flour. And I'm gonna do 1.5 cups. And I'm using a 1/4 cup, so I'll have to have 2 of them to make 1/2 cup. All right, and then I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon and 3/4 of baking powder. Now this is not the baking soda like we've been using. This is the baking powder. Make sure you've got powder, not soda. And you're gonna add 1 teaspoon and then 3/4 of a teaspoon. And then I'm gonna mix that together.
Sorry, Miss Blackmon, 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1 teaspoon and what else?
One teaspoon and 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder.
Okay, I'm gonna have 3/4. Oh yeah, I do. Sorry.
All right, now we're going to slowly add our flour mixture to the mixture that we started with the sugar and the butter. So just slowly add a little bit at a time and beat it in. Make sure you get it off the sides and off the bottom. All right, once you have that all mixed, the last thing you're gonna do is 1/2 cup of milk.
What was that? What was that?
1/2 cup of milk. So again, I'm using my 1/4 And 1/4 and 1/4 makes 2/4, which is a half. And I'm going to beat that in. All right. Now I'm going to get my cake pan ready. Mine's a square. You can use round. You can use whatever you want to use. You can use a long one. Mine's a square one. So the first thing I'm going to do is spray it with oil, just like we've been doing. All the sides, the bottom, and everything. Spray it with oil. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my flour and I'm going to sprinkle it in the bottom of it so that it's got a flour base on the bottom. That'll help it not stick. So just brush it around with your hands on the bottom. And up the sides. Just make sure you don't have too much in one area. Make sure you've got it all over your pan.
Excuse me, do I have to put the mixture in this?
Yeah, you can do it, Matt. Okay, once you get your oil and flour in your pan should look like this. Okay, it's gonna have oil and flour in it. Very good. Very good, Christian. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna get as much batter off our whisk or our beaters, whichever we used, because you want as much cake batter as you can get. So I'm gonna clean my beaters off here. If you want to taste it, it's fine. Just don't take too big of a taste. Remember, it does have raw eggs in it. Okay, once I've got as much batter as I can off my egg beaters, I'm going to go ahead and put it into the pan. So I'm just going to take it, scrape the sides of my bowl, and put this is your complete batter into your pan. Now it's thick. It's not going to pour out real easy. You're going to have to help it. But we'll spread it around once we get it in the pan. Okay, and like I was saying earlier, if you wanted to do something fun with the pan, with the cake, you could always add chocolate chips to it. You could add butterscotch chips to it. You could add sprinkles to it right now if you wanted to. I'm just simply making a white cake, and then I'm going to do some fun stuff with the decorations, which I'll go over with you in a little bit. So once you get your batter in, push it around to all the corners. Make sure it's on all the sides. Make sure it's even all the way across, because you definitely don't want one piece of cake being a lot higher than the other, because that'll make it hard to decorate. All right, once your batter's in your pan, like this, once it's in there ready to go ahead and put it in the oven. It's going to go in for about 35 minutes. Now, if you'll remember how we checked earlier this week, how we checked the, trying to remember what we made. How we checked the banana bread by putting a toothpick in it or a knife to make sure it comes out clean. You're going to do the same thing with this cake batter. Okay, when you're done, or you think it's done, you're going to put a knife, toothpick, or something right in the middle. If it comes out clean, then it's done. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and wash the bowl I just mixed my cake up in and my beaters so I can use it to make the icing. So if you want to go ahead and wash yours, remember it is your responsibility to wash and clean. It's not Mom's. Get those egg beaters good and clean, because you don't want any raw cake dough in your icing.
Excuse me?
Yes?
Can we use the icing of yesterday?
It's going to be like yesterday, but not quite. We're going to do a couple little things different.
Excuse me, at which temperature should we put it on?
350. All right. I've got my bowl clean. I've got my beaters clean. So now I can make my icing. Alright, thumbs up if you're ready to start icing. Good, alright. Alright, we're going to start our icing with our butter. So you're just going to get a stick of butter and put it in your bowl. Just one stick of butter. Put it in your bowl. And you're going to go ahead and beat that stick of butter so it's creamy. Did you have a question, Christian?
Yes. All we have to do the butter first or the gravy?
The butter. Put the butter in and beat it first.
First?
Yes. And then to the butter, you're gonna add a 1/2 cup of shortening. Now, shortening is just oil. So you can either have a solid shortening like this, or you can just add oil. Either one. Make sure you get a 1/2 cup though. And you wanna put that in with the butter. And you want to beat that in with the butter before we go to the next step. So I've got my oil in there. I've got my butter in there. And now I'm going to beat it again. You don't have to beat it for very long. It'll be creamy real quick. All right. Now you got your oil and butter creamy, we want to add the vanilla extract. Okay? The vanilla extract. And we're going to add a teaspoon. So your small spoon, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. All right, I'm gonna beat that into the butter and the shortening. All right, now comes the part with the powdered sugar. With the powdered sugar, you're gonna need 4 cups, but we're gonna put them in 1 cup at a time because we wanna beat it between each cup. So, just get out 1 cup of powdered sugar. Put it in your bowl. And then turn your mixer on. Once it's completely mixed in, then you can do the 2nd cup. Yes. Okay, I've got my 1st cup mixed in. Now I'm going to my 2nd cup. There's my 2nd cup. I'm gonna beat that in. Again, make sure you get the sides and the bottom because you want to get it all in there. Okay, now I'm going to go to my third cup. Got to get my scissors because I got to open a new bag. All right. I'm going to put my third cup in. And I'll beat that. All right, and then one more cup. Now, once I get this last cup beaten, it's gonna look like it's falling apart. It's gonna look real dry, but it's okay because we're gonna make it look wet again in a minute, okay? So just beat in this last cup. All right, there's mine, what it looks like after I've beat 4 cups into it. It looks pretty dry. It's okay because we're getting ready to add the milk, which will make it better. So now you're gonna need a tablespoon, which is your big spoon, and you're gonna need 2 tablespoons of milk. 1, 2. And I'm gonna put my milk back in the refrigerator because I'm done using it. Okay, and I'm gonna beat that milk into it. Again, making sure I've got the bottoms and sides really good. Alright, and then again I'm going to clean my beaters out to make sure that I get as much icing as I can in the bowl. And you can taste the icing. It's not going to hurt you. Doesn't have any raw eggs or anything in it. So if you want to lick the beater, you can. If Mom wants you to have that much sugar. And remember, it is your job to clean up. It is not Mom and Dad's. It is yours. So I want to get all the icing I can here. All right.
Excuse me?
Yes. What is that?
The icing.
The icing? Okay. That looks good. Okay, so my question is, Samuel, who are you making the cake for? Samuel, who are you making your cake for?
My dad.
Your dad. Awesome. Christian, who are you making yours for?
Family.
For your grandma?
My family.
For your family. Awesome. Maria, who are you making yours for?
For my dad.
For your dad. All right. Anna Ray, who are you making yours for? All right. Now, before I set you free to do what you want, listen closely. All right, on your icing, you can do a couple things. You can leave it white, or you can put food coloring in it. So if you want to make it green, you put a couple of drops of green food coloring in it and you mix it real good. If you want to make it purple, you put a couple red and blue and it'll be purple. Okay? So you can put whatever color you want in your icing. Then you can put sprinkles on it, or you can put designs on it with your knife or your spoon, anything like that when you get ready to ice your cake, okay? Now, here's what you need to do. When your cake is done, okay, when you've put that knife or that toothpick in and it's completely done, all right, you need to take the cake out of the oven and let it sit for about 5 minutes. After that 5 minutes, you want to dump it onto a cooling rack or some wax paper so it'll cool, okay? Then you want your cake to be completely cool before you ice it. So it'll probably, after you dump it out, it'll probably take about 15 or 20 minutes. You want it to be really, really cold, because if it's not, then your icing's just gonna run off of it. All right? Then you get to be creative. You get to decide on a color of your icing. You get to decide what you want to do. You get to decide on sprinkles. You get to decide on whatever you want to put on that. You can put chocolate chips in your icing. You can put butterscotch chips in your icing. You can do whatever you want to do. All right? My only request is this. When your cake is completely done and decorated, Samuel, are you listening? When your cake is completely done and decorated, you have to send me a picture of you holding your cake. Okay? Send it to my email of you holding your cake. Thumbs up? All right. All right, guys. It's up to you now. You've got to be creative in finishing your cake. Yes, Maria?
I will do it again after that. Right now, I'm going to do it.
Oh. Okay, not a problem. Not a problem. All right. So just make sure you send me a picture of your decorated cake with you. You holding it so I know what it looks like. All right? And you guys have fun decorating because this is your creative moment. You get to create what you want, all right? Any questions? All right, guys, that's it for today. Enjoy decorating your cakes and enjoy being creative, okay?
Okay,
All right, wait till that cake cools about 15 to 20 minutes before you start putting the icing on it so the icing will stay on, okay? All right, bye, guys. I'll see you on Monday. We're going to make spaghetti. All right, bye.